Scotland, and it's the Junior Volunteers of the Year, Brendan and Julia. Will you please come up here?
Congratulations, Brendan and Julie, on your great volunteer work, where the Dental Pride Council selected you for the 2025 Junior Volunteer of the Year. Brendan and Julie, you make your parents, your family, your friends, your school, and the town of Denver proud. You are an inspiration to all other young people, your family, and all of us. On behalf of the Dental Pride Council, I would like to present to each of you a check for $250. In addition, I would also like to present each of you with the Nicholas Pisciano Memorial Award. This plaque basically represents Mr. Pisciano, who was a long-time educator in Denver school system and a community volunteer. God bless both of you and guide you, Brendan and Julia, in your future endeavors, and I know you will continue to excel in everything you do. Oh, okay. Thank you. Brendan? Congratulations, Brendan. Keep up the good work.
And now for the award for the Volunteer of the Year. A personal friend of mine, or to all of ours actually. Everywhere you go in any community project, you'll see her there. It is my honor, personally and both as a community member, to welcome Nancy Whitty.
Good evening, friends. I have the honor this evening to tell you about our Denville Volunteer of the Year, Nancy Whitty. In a town built on service, volunteerism, generosity, and neighbor helping neighbor, tonight we honor Nancy as someone who hasn't just lived in Denville, she helped build the spirit of it. Nancy Whitty has been a proud resident in Denville since 1950, which means for generations in this community, Nancy just hasn't been around, she's been there. Been there when a student needed encouragement. Been there when a veteran needed recognition. Been there when a project needed leadership. Or very often, just been there when something just simply needed to get done. For 38 years as an educator, 36 of it right here in Denville, Nancy didn't just teach lessons, she created experiences for the youth of this town. From founding girls' basketball and softball programs at Valley View, to turning the circulatory system into an obstacle course at Lakeview. She made learning something you didn't just remember, but you lived. And while shaping young minds in the classroom, she was also serving our nation. Rising to the rank of Master Sergeant in the United States Army Reserves, earning the Meritus Service Medal, and being First Army Reserve Soldier of the Year. But if you think that's where her service ends, you must be new to town. Nancy has worn more volunteer hats that you probably have winter coats. She has led the Kiwanis Club as president for over 7 years, flipping pancakes, shredding documents, and building community spirit. She's mentored scouts, taught flag etiquette, guided Eagle projects, coordinated walking tours, cleaned rivers, built playgrounds, supported veterans for over 25 years through Lakeview's Veterans Day program, performed lip syncs for charity, plays the French horn for the seniors, built parade floats, supported the polar plunge, volunteered at festivals, serves her church in numerous leadership capacities, probably almost everyone imaginable, and helped preserve the very history of Denville as a historical society docent. She has been a council liaison, band leader, a youth director, a reader, a mentor, a coordinator, and president. Occasionally even a woman behind the funnel cakes. And perhaps more importantly, she has quietly inspired generations to serve right alongside her. Interestingly enough, Nancy has traveled to 27 countries and been to all 50 states. Yet somehow the greatest impact has always been right here at home in Denville. Tonight we honor a teacher, a veteran, a leader, and a timeless champion of our community. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Denville's Volunteer of the Year, Nancy Whitty.
The next award is the Volunteer Group of the Year. And as all of us know, have probably been there, the Book and Morgan Barn. Presented to George by F.Mott. George.
How many of you are big fans of the Book Barn? Well, on my way over, I had to stop, of course, to buy a few things just for our special guests here. And in honor of this year's semi-quincentennial for Mr. Mayor Tom Andes, we have a special book about the 250 years of his visit. For you, Susan, from the puzzle room at the Book Barn, we have the lovely Lady Liberty.
Lady Liberty.
I see Ellen Sandman's here. I had to grab a book for her, of course. Rare Words. You could have written this book. Oh, wait, Ellen Sandman. Doug? This is for you. And of course, you can still get Harvest Festival. Cheers.
Cheers.
Anyway, I'll try to make this quick, but I'm F.Mott from Denville Community Media, Denville Living, and proud recipient of a Pride Award last year. Thank you, and it means so much, and thank you, Susan, for all the great work you do with Pride and Polar Plunge and everything else. It's wonderful. Now my distinct honor to present the 2026 Volunteer Group of the Year to the Thrift Barns of Morris County, where history, community, and charity all come together in one unforgettable place. And if you've been there, it is unforgettable. What makes the book in Bargain Barn so special isn't just what's inside, it's the story behind it. The barns themselves date back to the late 1800s when they were part of a working farm that supported the St. Francis residential community, which was run by the Sisters of Sorrowful Mothers and nearby St. Clair's Hospital. These grounds had cows, chickens, pigs, orchards, all providing fresh food and essential resources to those in care, making service and compassion part of this property's foundation and history from the very beginning. And just this week, wonderful news that our great mayor and township and council have reached an agreement to acquire this beautiful property for parks, recreation, and community for Denville forever. So, Castaway Shop in Boonton as part of the Riverside Hospital Auxiliary, the spirit of giving took new life in 1953 when the barns were transformed into a charitable thrift operation known as, anybody know? The Corral, back in 1950s, run by St. Clair's Hospital Auxiliary. It also played a vital part in Denville's annual harvest festivals, as you can recall. And there, it was more than 40 years, and then in most recently, a few of the history over the decades, volunteers like the legendary Lenny DeMena continued to build on that mission, and 10 years ago formed now what is now known as the Thrift Barns in Morris County, which include the beloved Book Barn and Bargain Barn, which are now powered by more than 50 volunteers. These Book Barn baddies, and they're all sitting here at the table, Suzanne, Fernando, lovely Lynn, Ethan, so many more, Maz, everybody, Jim. What a group and what a wonderful place to volunteer if you're interested. George will be taking applications right after this. These Book Barn baddies sort and line the shelves with thousands, even hundreds of thousands of donated books, creating a happy space that feels equal parts library, treasure hunt, and community hub. Every donated book, every piece of clothing, pair of shoes, CD, record, and knickknack has been given a second life, and every purchase supports local charities. To date, the Barns have given close to $2 million to more than 40 community charities with an annual donation of $50,000 to Denville Social Services alone. So let's hear it for that. That mission continues to grow. What began as a small hospital auxiliary has evolved into a fully volunteer-run nonprofit with special events, social media, and loyal customers that come from near, far, and wide, bringing lots of new visitors to Denville every week. Dedicated volunteers like George, Ethan, Lynn, Suzanne, Fernando, as well as so many others, Maz, Joe, Jim, Lorraine, Sue, Gilia, Angela, Beth, Rob, Mary, Marie, Millie, Lisa, Carol, Esther. Sorry, I told them I'd mention them all. This will be on Denville Community Media, by the way. Jennifer, Janice, Julie, and their daughters. Actually, it's a family affair at the barn as well. And so many more. They all make it happen with smiles on their faces and love in their hearts. And they are always looking for more volunteers, of course, if you're interested. As Mayor Tom likes to say, the Thrift Barns have the perfect business model. Donated goods, free labor, and a generous spirit. Thank you to all who donate, volunteer, and shop. And as you can see, I was just shopping there today. And in conclusion, beyond the history and impact, there's something you feel the moment you walk into the barn. A sense of warmth, purpose, and connection. And that's just the volunteers. The barn isn't just a place to shop, it's a place where the past is preserved, generosity is alive, and every item and every visit helps make a difference. Many thanks and congratulations to the Thrift Barns of Morris County, the 2026 Denville Pride Volunteer Group of the Year.
I'm truly honored to accept this award on behalf of our dedicated Book Barn and Bargain Barn volunteers. This recognition means so much, not just to me, but to every person who has given their time, energy, and heart to serve our community. This award belongs to all of them, the people who step forward. Thank you to everyone who supports and believes in our mission. Thank you.
Okay, I am honored to introduce Mayor Andes, Donna Farrelly, who will be presenting to the most beautiful place in town, Flowers by Candlelight, Todd and family.
Hello everyone, I have the distinct honor of introducing Flowers by Candlelight, who is the Business of the Year. Flowers by Candlelight was founded in 1969 by Todd Johnson's father, George Johnson, and his grandfather, Harry Johnson. From their earliest days, his mother, Linda Johnson, also contributed her efforts to the shop, helping to build a foundation of their family business. Since opening, they have continually served their customers from the same location in Denville, first known as the Foodtown Shopping Center and now recognized as Dickerson's Corner. As a child, Todd spent much of his time at the shop, truly growing up surrounded by the world of flowers and family dedication. At age 17, in 1988, Todd began working full-time in the business, further deepening his connection to the family legacy. He was also honored to be among the first students from Morris Knolls High School to participate in their work-study program, which allowed him to work for the family business while continuing his education. Today, Flowers by Candlelight is thriving. Full-service florist committed to designing beautiful arrangements for birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, weddings, and all of life's occasions. Todd is deeply grateful for his creative and talented staff who bring their floral visions to life each day. It brings him great pride in having his wife Anita and their two beautiful daughters, Olivia and Brielle, actively involved in the business. The Johnson family is immensely thankful for the steady support of the Denville community, and they look forward to continuing to serve their customers and bloom here for many years to come. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd just like to say this is one of my favorite nights of the year. It's when all the goodness of Denville comes out. Every year it's different groups of people, but it's that cult, that makes Denville what it is. And it's just an inspiring night for us. And I encourage anybody, if you ever go to the town hall, you walk down by the council chambers, now there's two plaques, right, with all the names that are on this plaque, right, for the Muriel Hefner awards, right, and it's going back now. When was the first one? It was back into the 70s, right, Ellen?
Ellen? Yes.
70s was the first one? Oh,
That is correct.
Rich, you know. Listen, we didn't have the what this pride actually means speech tonight, but
You couldn't even Google it back then.
But the point is that when you look at the names on the plaque, the people who have come before us, right, it brings back a lot of memories to me, because I knew most all of them, and I encourage everybody to do that. But for Todd and the Johnson families, you guys have been a great part of our community for a long time. 4 generations, that's a family business, right? 4 generations, right? Your dad was great, and you're so generous to the community, you give back. But more importantly, it's a special day in your life, right? You can tell when it's a flower by candlelight centerpiece, or a flower by candlelight piece on a coffin, or a wedding day. These guys there's a lot of good florists out there, but these guys have a personal touch and a creative touch that's second to none, right? And it's appreciated, and especially at the funeral. Generally appreciate what you guys do the extra mile. Now, I have a proclamation here. This is your swell guy. All right? All right. I want you to hold on to that. Right? Yeah, but I'm not going to read it. It's lengthy. Right? But it says it in nutshells. You guys are great. And I'd like to present to you the keys.
Thank you so much. My dad, my dad would be beyond. Thank you. Thank you.
These young people, at the beginning of their volunteerism in life, at the very, very beginning of it, and they're off to a great start, and we hope they get a good education, they go to college, get a job, come back to Denville, make our kids live in Denville, and be part of our community. So, just to get a kickstart for them, I got to feed you a Denville pin,
and a certificate that says, good job.
Two new awards that were
Getting caught up. Getting caught up. Right? We're going with the flow. Right? If I may. Nancy Woody, Doug did a great job on that. You are always there if there's something good going on in Denver. It's incredible, right? Between your church, and your Bella, the Kiwanis, and the town council, right? She was a great council person. I wish I could have got another term out of her, but she was a great council person. She did a wonderful job, right? But the one thing that I didn't know about her is that she, doing for the council, we got it cost some money. She had a little fundraiser, and then the crowd was a little noisy in the back there. But she took them to a stop immediately. She told us all that she had 3 voices, all right? She has a loud voice, she has a gym teacher voice, and she has a master sergeant voice, right? And she quieted that count down just like that. Nancy, you're the best. I have a proclamation for you, thanking you for your service to the community. Who's done? All right. Thank you, Doug. All right. And George, would you please come forward? Represent your group. The book barn. Fritz nailed it. They do have the perfect business model. Right? They also only pay $1 a year rent. Right? That's good. They had humble beginnings, working, raising money to help the hospital. Remember, the St. Clair's Hospital was built by the people of Denver. Right? Those nuns put us all to work, our forefathers, right? And they raised the money to build that hospital, and then that was the beginning of the construction of the Bargain Barn, the castaway that got the ground, right? And then when the hospital went for profit, they weren't allowed to make money for the hospital anymore. They lost their mission, all right? And the group worked together, and with Lenny's leadership, they came up with, giving money to the community, all right? We all miss Lenny, he was great. But you'd be real proud of the group that has continued the mission, and they've done a great job. And you guys are the most generous people with your time and your talents, and we bless you. Thank you for everything that you do for our community. Now, you first announced that, yesterday, 2 days ago, I signed the contract, right? So yours are going to move slow, right? It took us, I got in December, we came to the agreement. It took only 3 months to actually get to sign the contract, right? And the closings in July for the main parcel. The bookworm parcel is on a more delayed track because it has to be subdivisions and all the government red tape that you have to do. But we got to make sure that the book barn, the bargain barn, the thrift shop at Denver always have a place in our community. And I commit to that. As long as I'm there, we're going to make sure that we get things together. So with that, Georgia proclamation, thanking you for your great work.
Yeah.
ready to hear my voice. We have 2 new awards this year, and once you hear from both Mayor Andes and Donna about their accomplishments, you'll see why both of them are Denville living treasures. Oh, okay. You're out. No.
Back to St. Francis for a second. The St. Francis had a yearly award called the Living Treasures Award. They gave it out with the seniors of Morris County, and every year they would honor 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And they had a corridor, a hallway, that went from the main building to the chapel. So that if the residents wanted to go to church, they didn't have to go outside. They were covered. And it was on an incline. And people called it the stairway to heaven, because it was a steep, it was a ramp. But along the hallway, they had pictures of all the living treasures. And much like I was saying about the names of the plaques, these people were the real heart and soul of Denville, going back into the 50s and 60s, right? And every one of them I knew. I used to walk up and just to say, like saying hi to an old friend, and pictures on the way up. The St. Francis closing, the word just slipped away. And I said, we should continue this. So I said, we're going to start and Susan was kind enough to incorporate it into this night, and I think it's a perfect setting for it. The first award is presented to B.L. Gross. B.L. Gross. So in 1995, when I got involved with the township, I was on the recreation committee. At my first meeting, B.L. was there. Wait a second. B.L. And B.L. was there, and that's when I first got to know her, and she was very involved in the public playground in 1996. And we served on the recreation committee for 5 years, and then I was a councilor, and she was on the recreation committee. And but she's done very quietly. It's been pretty remarkable, and she's made a lot of friends along the way. And so I'm going to read her proclamation. And here we go. So, yeah, the flipping. I don't look at this stuff here. I'm going to start with, whereas on November 8th, 1938, in Kingston, Pennsylvania, Betty Lou Kozik, was born to Frank and Eleanor Kozik, right? Is that right? Okay. She attended Kingston High School and spent her summers at Harvey's Lake, where she was an avid water skier and crowned Lady of the Lake. She laid... Now, don't be corrected. I'm Don't let the facts get in the way of this story now. I was told that you were crowned Lady of the Lake. She later graduated from Fabian School of Arts in New York City, and where B.L. met Lou Gross in an apartment building in New York, where they both lived. It was love at first sight. And he courted her until they were married on April 30th, 1966. In 1977, they built their forever home on Birch Run Avenue in Denville, where they raised their two daughters, Laura and Melanie. And whereas B.L. Gross worked for a leasing company, owning a small craft business, and dedicated her time as a substitute teacher at Valley View School, and whereas B.L. has a variety of hobbies, including softball, baking, cooking, watching rodeos, and cheering on the New York Yankees. B.L. and Lou Gross enjoyed sailing, skiing, and traveling the Old West. They were best friends and remained that way for 58 years. And whereas with her dear friend Chris Murray, B.L. started women's softball, where she played and managed all the details. Each year, the highlights of the softball season was a barbecue at her home, hosted by B.L. with Lou manning the grill. B.L. thoughtfully ensured each player received a gift connected to the season, and whereas B.L. Gross has been a member of the Denver Recreation Committee for over 6 decades, and he volunteered for the project playground in 1996, and whereas B.L. continues to enjoy her retirement by spending time with her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. However, on Thursday evenings each summer, she will be found at Garter Field number 3. Although her playing days may be over, she continues to make a lineup, keep the score, share on the players, enjoy the sport she loves alongside women she calls friends. Now, therefore, I, Thomas W. Candice, Mayor of the Township of Denver, do hereby proclaim, you don't have to share, right? You don't have to share, I know you can do it.
B.L. Grossley is in recognition for her outstanding service and dedication to our community as a recipient of the Gimble Pride Council Mental Health Service Award and Living Treasure Award. It is my distinct privilege to present this proclamation along with the key to the city, to be our appreciation for the city
We had Allison, who's on recreation. She's right there to play mahjong. And I said, she will play mahjong and pick this up. She went. So we had to teach her, don't do a fast walk. Take the ball. You invite me, don't do a fast walk. It doesn't work. Come out every time. We had a good time. Sharon and Diana, which is probably the longest. I count 40 sometimes. We lost some players along the way. Five of them remember where. Tommy gave the key to the city to one of them to play a softball game and have another. And we just keep plugging along. This is totally unexpected. I haven't mentioned the name, so. Thank you. And we will accept anybody else. Once you get 19 and out of high school, you can play with us.
This was about the late 1980s. My kids were in Cub Scouts, and they would, they said we're going to have the VFW ceremony at the school, at the Riverview School, Sunday at 2. And it's the same ceremony every year. And the VFW guys were there, and Royal Count Father Rick was always there, and Phyllis always was the keynote speaker, and Arlene Dempsey was over there. And it was the simplest ceremonies, really a nice ceremony. And I think that all the guys in the VFW, they got older, and there was less of them, and less of them, and less of them. And so right now, they don't have a voting anymore. Just precious few of them left. Most of them World War II was some pretty guys, and a few Vietnam guys. Then I got to know her when for the Memorial Day parade. And if I could, I'd like to read your proclamation. And you two are going to have to share, right? So it's enough. So Phyllis Davis was born December 2nd, 1950, to Earl and Ruth Davis. They was raised in Indian Lake section of Denville with their sisters Shirley and Joyce, attending Denville schools, Morris Mills High School, Fountain Valley School, and the County College of Morris. And whereas in the summer of 1965, Phyllis, apparently she was cruising, I guess down Broadway. She met up with Gimble, who later enlisted in the United States Army in May of 1967 and served 3 tours of duty on the front lines of South Vietnam, rising to the rank of artillery sergeant. And whereas Phyllis Davis and Gimble were married August 1st, 1971, they made their home in Indian Lake, where they raised their son Jeffrey, and shared over 50 years of marriage together. Whereas through their involvement with the American Legion Post 390, American Legion Women's Auxiliary, Phyllis and Jim began a lifelong commitment to honoring veterans to the Rockaway, Marcella, and Denville Memorial Association, helping organize Memorial Day parades and decorating the graves throughout Denville, Rockaway Township, and Rockaway Borough. And whereas Phyllis Villard, dedicated to veterans, reflects her family legacy as a daughter of a decorated United States Marine Corps Raider, the wife of a Vietnam veteran, and the mother of a Desert Storm veteran. Each year, she continues to decorate veterans' graves, updates memorial records, publishes the Memorial Day program, and serves as the Grand Marshal and Master of Ceremonies for the memorial service while participating in the VFW Veterans Day services in the past. Now retired, Phyllis Villard enjoys gardening, reading, baking, spending time with her grandchildren, Ashley, Chloe, and Wyatt, and her great-grandchildren, Charlie and Henry. Now, I have to tell you, when I first became mayor, I was a little nervous about speaking at the Memorial Day service because I knew I was going to have to follow her, and she's such a great speaker and I always say, take it easy on me, please, take it easy on me. But she's so passionate and such a great speaker. And most recently, we're working on a project, Phyllis and I. Would somebody at your table hold them up? The banners? Yeah, thank you, David. All right. We've been working on hometown hero banners for Denville, but we don't have enough poles to put up all the banners for every veteran that served. Phyllis came up with the idea of putting up the 19 young men that made the supreme sacrifice. They gave their lives up for our country. And we happen to have currently 20 poles, and there's 19 of them. So we have a pole for each of them, but we're going to get the pictures to put on. Phyllis, we got 16 of the 19, which is remarkable, absolutely remarkable that she was able to do that research. So, thank you for that. All right, and I can't wait to get them up. I ordered them today, and they're issuing the PO tomorrow. Now, therefore, I, Thomas W. Andes, Mayor of the Township of Denville, do hereby proclaim March 26th through March 29th as also Phyllis Villard Days in recognition of her outstanding service and dedication to honoring our nation's veterans. As a recipient of the Denville Park Council Mural Heaven Service Award and the Living Treasure Award, it is my distinct privilege to present this proclamation, this award, all right, and actually the key to the city. Yep. And if before I give it the microphone, I just want to say thanks again to Susan and the entire Pride Council for our recipients today for making Denville a great place to live. Phyllis?
When I first got the email from Susan, I sent a screenshot out in our family group chat and said, does anybody know this woman, and is this somebody's idea of a joke? My nephew David sent me a text and he said, no, I know her. She's not a joke. And I said, okay, who told him how old I turned? Because I had just passed my 75th birthday. And I will admit, when I talked to Susan, I told her I was kind of gobsmacked by it. Because I don't think of what I do as being impactful. Forget that. Now those banners, when they go up, there'll be something different. But yeah, when you love something and you do it, you don't think of it as expanding beyond you. And that's the way I feel. The parade, the program books, decorating the graves. I'll do it till there's no breath in my body. That's what it is. So thank you. But I still don't think I deserve it.